50 Cent and his mother, Sabrina Jackson, is a topic that has stayed with hip-hop for over 4 decades now. King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T.I. and Tiny, just recorded a video telling 50 Cent to go dig up his deceased mother and post a picture of her grave, and the internet has not stopped talking about it since. So let's get into how this all started, and what makes this situation hit so different when you know the full story of 50 Cent and his late mother. Now, to understand why King Harris ended up on camera saying what he said about 50 Cent's mother, you have to go back to the beginning of this beef. And the beginning of this beef is not complicated. It starts with Versus. T.I. revealed that he no longer has respect for 50 Cent due to what happened around their potential and long-rumored Versus match. In a clip from an upcoming episode of $1 Million Worth of Game that co-host Gilly the Kid shared on social media, T.I. went into detail about the match that, according to him, was supposed to have happened. Now, for those of you who don't know, Versus was a platform where two artists would go head-to-head playing their catalogs. It became a cultural event during and after the pandemic. Fans would watch two legends trade hits back and forth. And according to T.I., he and 50 Cent had agreed to do one together. T.I. said it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. He added, "Me and this Nunquad had talked about this. I just ain't call him out of the blue. This ain't come out of nowhere. We were moving around in Los Angeles, selling some shows together. So this was not some situation where T.I. randomly called 50 out, and 50 had no idea what was happening. According to Tip, they had discussed it. They had been working together in some capacity. They had performed shows together in LA. And then according to T.I., he explained that years ago, he and 50 discussed the idea. The ATL rapper said that an agreement was made between the artists to let T.I. bring the idea up publicly first, and then 50 would respond. But when T.I. did raise the possibility of a Versus, he claims that Fifth acted confused. So imagine you make a deal with someone privately. They tell you to go ahead and announce it first. And then when you do, they pretend like they don't know what you're talking about. That is what T.I. says happened, and that is why he was upset. T.I. had some strong words for 50 Cent after the two seemingly fell out over a never-realized Versus battle. "I don't want to stand on stage with him. I don't respect him," Tip said. Those are not light words. When T.I. says he does not respect someone, he means it. And he went even further. T.I. wrote in his own comment, "You playing on my name, when only one of us a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork, right? And my transcript is available online. Your excuses is useless. Get your hoe ass in the box or STFU and live in fear. You soft son, you've lost my respect." So T.I. went there. He called 50 soft. He said he has paperwork. He accused 50 of being a rat. Now, in hip-hop, calling someone a rat is one of the worst things you can do. And T.I. said it publicly. He put it in writing. He put it in a comment section. And this is when things started to escalate. This all started when T.I. accused 50 of ducking a Versus battle they talked about doing. Instead of locking it in, 50 went the trolling route on social media, firing off jokes and memes, but never actually stepping into the ring. And this is classic 50 Cent. If you followed his career at all, you know that 50 does not respond to beef the way most people do. He does not record a diss track right away. He does not hop on Instagram live screaming. What 50 does is troll. He posts memes, he makes jokes, he turns you into a punchline. And that is exactly what he did to T.I. But there was one post that changed everything. The tension reignited after 50 Cent shared a post that included a photo of T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris, along with a caption warning T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. The post immediately caught attention online, and it didn't take long for T.I.'s son, King Harris, to respond. That photo is what set this entire thing off into a different direction. It is what took this from a standard rap beef into something personal, because when you bring someone's wife into it, someone's mother into it, now it is family business. And that is when King Harris entered the conversation. There's nothing lower in a war of words between men than dragging a romantic partner into it. But 50 Cent did just that, and is now catching heat from King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T.I. and Tiny. On Sunday, February 22, the rising rapper took to his Instagram stories with an explicit, expletive-laced rant after the 50-year-old mogul shared an unflattering photo of Tiny amid his escalating online feud with T.I. Now, King Harris is not just some random person hopping into a beef. King is the eldest of the 3 children T.I. and Tiny share, including son Major Philint, 17, and daughter heiress Diana Harris, 9. He is their firstborn together, and he has been in the public eye since he was a child. He grew up on the family's reality shows. He has been building his own career as a rapper, and he has made it clear on multiple occasions that he is not the one to play with when it comes to his family. So when 50 posted that photo of Tiny, King did not wait. 50 would caption the post, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth, okay?" King would comment under 50's post with Tiny Harris, ready for war and ready to get messy. "Where your mama?" comments King. That was the first shot. King went directly at 50 in the comment section and asked about his mother. And then he went to Instagram stories. King Harris blasted 50 Cent on social media over the weekend after the rapper trolled his mother, Tiny, by sharing an unflattering picture of her on Instagram. In response, Harris brought up 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, in a lengthy video rant. And this is where things got very personal. King recorded a video from what appeared to be inside a car, and he did not hold anything back. King said to the camera, referencing 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died in 1983. He then urged the Candy Shop rapper to post a photo of his late mother, before doubling down that he should leave Tiny out of the back and forth. King questioned how 50 and other trolls were raised, before again telling him to dig up his mother and pay his respects. Now that video was not just a few sentences, it was a full rant. King went on and on. He said, "How y'all bitch ass nun was raised, I'm not raised like that. I'm not going about my mama." King continued his rant, holding little back, and then King said something that took the internet by storm. He told 50 to dig up his mother's body and post a picture of her. He said it multiple times. He told 50 to go put flowers on her grave. He said Tiny is a legend. He referenced her career with Xscape and her Grammy wins. But he did not stop there. From there, King Harris took to his Instagram story, where he shared a picture of a headstone and wrote, "This where your mama at." He also shared a picture of a headstone featuring the name Sabrina Jackson and added, "Fuck you bit haja and dig up your mama." That is a picture of a real grave. That is a real headstone. That is the name of a real woman who passed away. And that is what was posted on Instagram for millions of people to see. On his Instagram account, King shared a post of a gravesite featuring 50 Cent's mother and grandmother's names, a video of the rapper in court in a case where he stood accused of trampling and assaulting 3 women at a concert, and a photo of one of the rapper's sons on his lap. So King did not just mention 50's mother verbally. He went to find a grave or wherever he got the images, and he pulled up the actual tombstone. He posted that alongside court footage. He went all the way in. And for a lot of people watching, this was the line. This was the moment where people said, "Hold on, that's too far." Now, we should note that 50 did start this. He posted the picture of Tiny. He was trolling. But the question that the internet was asking was, did King go too far? Because there is a difference between posting an unflattering picture of someone who is alive and well and talking about digging up someone's dead mother. Those two things are not the same. And that distinction is what made this moment so significant. To understand why King Harris's words hit so hard, you need to know who Sabrina Jackson was and what her death meant to 50 Cent. Because this is not just some abstract thing where someone mentioned a dead parent. This is a real story, and it is a painful one. Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, didn't have an easy start in life. Born on July 6, 1975 to his 15-year-old single mother, Sabrina Jackson, he was raised in a drug-afflicted neighborhood of Queens, New York. Accordingly, 50's childhood would be fraught with hardship. To make ends meet, Sabrina dealt drugs, a profession she had pursued long before her son's birth. Sabrina Jackson was a teenager when she had Curtis. She was 15 years old. She was raising him by herself in South Jamaica, Queens. And the neighborhood they lived in was not easy. This was the height of the crack era, and Sabrina was in the middle of it. Sabrina Jackson was a young mother who had to provide for her son. She was also proud and refused to beg for help. In an interview with Spin, her son 50 Cent said she didn't see welfare or Burger King as a real option. She did what she thought she had to do to take care of him. Now that statement tells you everything you need to know about who Sabrina was. She did not want handouts. She did not want to work minimum wage. She saw an opportunity to make money on the street, and she took it. And she was good at it. To make ends meet, Sabrina sold controlled substances on Old South Road, South Jamaica, Queens. She became a prominent figure in her illicit trade. 50's mom was feared on the streets, even though few women were involved in that line of work. So Sabrina was not just a casual participant. She was a figure in the neighborhood. She was known, she was feared, and the people around her had money and status. In an interview with The Guardian, 50 Cent said, "The only people I saw coming round who had nice things were from my mom's life. They had Cadillacs, expensive jewelry, everything that symbolized financial freedom." That is how 50 Cent first saw wealth, through his mother's world. The cars, the jewelry, the lifestyle, all of it came from what Sabrina was doing. And for a young boy growing up without a father, that was the blueprint. That was the model for success. But there was another side to Sabrina. Sabrina Jackson was a single parent and played a vital role in 50 Cent's life. She was my mom and my dad, and she was tough. So I didn't know when it was okay to be emotional and when it wasn't. 50 told Page Six. 50 said his mother was both parents to him. She was the nurturer and the disciplinarian. She was the one who told him to toughen up. She was the one who told him to stop crying. And that shaped who he became as a man. And then in 1983, everything changed. Sabrina Jackson's death in 1983 was a suspected homicide. Authorities believe someone drugged her and left her unconscious in her apartment. before setting it on fire. Sabrina Jackson did not die of natural causes. She did not die in an accident. 50 said, someone put something in her drink and turned the gas on. He added, after that, every time something went wrong, I'd think, if my mother was here, it wouldn't be like that. Someone murdered his mother. Someone laced her drink. Someone turned on the gas. And then they walked away. Despite the suspicious circumstances, no arrests were made, and her killer remains unidentified. Nobody has ever been charged. Nobody has ever been arrested. The case is still unsolved. That is the reality that 50 Cent has lived with for over 40 years. His mother was murdered when he was 8 years old, and no one has ever been held accountable. 50 was only 8 years old at the time, and the death had a major impact on his life. And the way 50 processed it, or rather did not process it, is something he has talked about in interviews over the years. 50 Cent has built an entire public persona around being tough, being unbothered, being the troll who never gets emotional. But when it comes to his mother, that persona cracks every single time. 50 told the big issue. I think shock is the best way to describe how I felt when my mother died. I didn't understand it. To have a single parent as your guardian, they're your whole life. Think about that. When you have two parents, losing one is devastating. But when you have one parent, that person is everything. They are your provider, your protector, your teacher, your friend, your disciplinarian. And when that one person is gone, you have nothing. That is what happened to 50 Cent. At first, 50 was in denial. He explained to Oprah Winfrey that he struggled to comprehend what his grandmother meant by, she's not coming back. As such, 50 would tell himself that his mother was still with him, whenever someone would remind him that she was gone forever. It didn't register, he said. He was 8 years old. He could not understand that death was permanent. His grandmother would tell him she's not coming back, and he would say, yeah, she is. That is a child who cannot process what just happened to his world. That is a child who is in shock. In an interview with Larry King, 50 said, I don't think I really dealt with it in the early stages. I lost my mom when I was 8, so I didn't really understand at that point. And here is the thing. 50 has admitted that he never dealt with his mother's death in a healthy way. He did not go to therapy. He did not talk about his feelings. He went to the streets. After her passing, Curtis went to live with his grandparents. But the loss of his mother forever altered his path. At age 12, Jackson began dealing narcotics. When his grandparents thought he was in after-school programs and brought guns and drug money to school. By 12 years old, 50 was doing exactly what his mother had done. He was selling drugs. He was carrying guns. He was on the streets. And it all started because of the void that Sabrina's murder left in his life. 50's grandmother, Beulah Jackson, stepped in and raised him. In the VH1 documentary 50 Cent: The Origin of Me, the rapper revealed that his grandmother legally adopted him when he was a boy. Accordingly, Beulah raised 50 as if he were her own son, and his gratitude would remain unwavering. But even with his grandmother's love, there were struggles. 50 said, I came to live in my grandmother's house when some of my mother's 8 siblings were still there. My Aunt Sylvie, she hated me being there. She had been the baby, then suddenly it was me. My grandmother would look at me, and there would be a little moment when she wouldn't say anything. Then she'd say, come on here, baby. So even in the one place that was supposed to be safe, there was tension. There was resentment. There was someone who did not want him there. And the only person who made him feel wanted was his grandmother. So when people bring up 50 Cent's mother, they are not just bringing up a name. They are bringing up his entire childhood. They are bringing up the murder that shaped his entire existence. They are bringing up the single worst thing that ever happened to him. And 50 has been open about the fact that he still carries it. He made the show Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, which is loosely based on his childhood. 50 said about his mother, while talking about his character in Raising Kanan, there's a point where things that you were afraid of, that I got bumped around a lot in the park, but I was more afraid of my mom than the people I got bumped around by because I could not escape her. Being a single mom at that point, she was everything. She was everything. That is the phrase 50 uses. She was everything. And someone took her from him when he was 8 years old, and her killer was never found. Now think about what King Harris said. He told 50 to dig up his dead mother. He posted a picture of her tombstone. He told him to go put flowers on her grave. That is not just a diss. That is touching the rawest nerve that 50 Cent has. And everybody who knows 50's story knows that. The internet knew it too. Clips of 50 getting emotional in past interviews about his mother started circulating again. Videos of 50 talking to Oprah about not understanding death as a child. Videos of 50 talking to Larry King about never processing his grief. Those clips were everywhere, and people were watching them side by side with King Harris's rant. Now, after all of that, what did 50 Cent do? How did the biggest troll in hip-hop respond to a 21-year-old talking about digging up his deceased mother? On Sunday, February 22, Fifth shared an image of Pepe the Frog to his always active Instagram, while the oft-headlined G-Unit film and television founder didn't directly name the intended target of this post. It was immediately made clear that he didn't need to get specific, as fans were quick to hop in the comments with their own speculation. 50 didn't have much to say when following that up with a Pepe the Frog update, captioning the post simply, LOL. That was it, LOL, a frog meme. No long rant, no video response, no going back and forth in the comments. Just a meme and a 3-letter caption. And to some people, that response was more devastating than anything King Harris said, because 50 did not give King the satisfaction of knowing he got to him. But did it get to him? That is the question. Because the thing about 50 Cent is, the man has talked about his mother in interviews and cried. He has sat across from Oprah and struggled to find words. He has told Larry King that he could not process the loss. And now a 21-year-old is telling him to dig her up. 50 Cent also played off the out-of-pocket post with a photo of Pepe the Frog in the caption LOL. Commenters cracked up at his hint that the character is twinning with King. And then 50 went further. 50 Cent then reacted with a frog face photo on Instagram, along with the caption LOL. He also shared a video of 2 streamers going in on Tiny's looks. So 50 doubled down. He posted the frog meme comparing King to the frog, and then he posted another video of podcasters roasting Tiny and King. The Many Men Menace returned with a clip of 2 podcasters roasting Tiny's appearance in King for looking just like her. If my wife looked like that, may God bless America. I don't know if that's a wrestler, one of the hosts said, comparing Tiny to WWE legend Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And then T.I. responded too. T.I. is dragging his beef with 50 Cent straight into the studio, and TMZ's got the first listen to the diss track. T.I. ain't playing nice, calling 50 a 5-Newell dispatcher. He basically branding him a snitch, and clowns him as a keyboard warrior who's tough online but nowhere else. Then it really gets spicy. T.I. raps he's got paperwork from Nenexay in prison. Your name is in him, a bombshell claim that goes straight at 50's gangster brand. That's not light shade, that's nuclear. So the Harris family went all in. King went with the personal attacks. T.I. went with the diss track. And 50 posted a frog. Now, here is what makes this entire situation so significant. 50 Cent is a man who lost his mother to murder at 8 years old. He has talked about how that loss shaped him. He has cried about it in public. He has built TV shows around that experience. And no matter how much trolling he does, no matter how many memes he posts, no matter how many beefs he starts, that wound never healed. He has said so himself. When King Harris told 50 to dig up Sabrina Jackson, he was reaching for the one thing that 50 cannot joke about. And the fact that 50 responded with LOL does not mean it did not hurt. It means 50 did what his mother taught him to do. When he was a little boy on the floor of their apartment in Queens, his mother would look at him and say, "Get up, what you over there crying for?" And so 50 got up, he posted a frog, he said LOL, and he kept moving. But the internet is not going to forget this, and neither is 50 Cent. Because 50 Cent and T.I.'s social back and forth has sparked a new beef between 50 and Tip's son, King Harris, after the mogul shared a controversial photo of T.I.'s wife. King Harris's feud with 50 marks the mogul's second with a rapper's son, following his 2026 feud with Diddy's son, Christian King Combs. 50 has been going at everyone's kids and families. And now the kids are coming back at him in ways that go straight for the bone. This is not just about Verzoos anymore. This is not just about Instagram trolling. This is about legacy, family, and the lines that should and should not be crossed. For now, the disagreement exists largely in fragments, posts, previews, and reactions. Like many long-running rivalries in hip-hop, it appears less about resolution than about endurance. A reminder that history once established rarely disappears entirely. 50 started it by posting the photo of Tiny. King responded by going for the most personal thing he could think of. And now both families are dug in. T.I. is releasing diss tracks. King is posting tombstones. And 50 is posting frogs. But behind the memes and the rants and the diss tracks, there is a man who lost his mother when he was 8 years old and never got justice for it. And that is the part of this story that hits different. That is the part that people are going to remember long after the beef dies down. Because beefs end. Diss tracks get forgotten. Instagram posts get deleted. But the loss of a mother, that stays with you forever. And 50 Cent knows that better than anyone. That's all for this one. If you found this video informative, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. We'll see you in the next video.